to our ASMR.
Well, this isn't an ASMR.
Oh.
So today, on our Murder Podcast show, we will be talking about the attempted murder of Peyton Lutner.
Yeah.
Lutner.
Just say, let's go from Peyton Lutner.
Murder of Peyton Lutner in Waukesha, Wisconsin, also known as the Slenderman stabbing.
So the day was May 31st, 2014, when, out of the blue, 12-year-old Peyton Lutner crawled out of the woods, appearing to be bloody, thankfully being found by a cyclist.
As police investigated more and more, they found the perpetrators, Morgan Geyser and Anissa E. Weir.
I think her name is Anissa E. Wire. I don't know. Wire, something like that.
We'll look that up. We'll look her up. Running away near an interstate. But the real kicker is, where were they running away to?
They were running away to Slender Man's mansion, a fictional place home to a fictional online mythos creature who stalks children and lives in the forest. He's a tall, slender, hence the name Slender Man. Tall, slender creature who's has a black suit on and a pale white blank face. He's a little scary. I played the video game and yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's a nice guy. I don't understand.
Apparently, the two perpetrators were attempting to murder Peyton in the name of Slender Man in order to become his proxies.
Well, thankfully, Peyton turned out okay. And she's completely fine and well now. But what we want to know is what happened to the attempted murders.
So, while the stabbing... Hello, bird. While the stabbing happened in 2014, it was only around 3 years later to when sentencings began to roll out. So Anissa Weir got sentenced to Anissa Weir got sentenced in September of 2017 to 25 years in a psychiatric hospital, and Geyser got sentenced to 40 years in a psychiatric hospital in February of 2018.
All right. And that's a summary of the story. So what are your thoughts on the matter?
So, I agree. So, me personally, I do agree with the sentencing. I'm glad that they are getting, psychiatric help because they are very obviously mentally ill. And they do need help. What were, on, the articles that we read, what were, some of, the mental disorders, they had?
So, of course, upon first glance, you would want them to face time because of the severity of, what they did to the girl trying to attempt to kill her.
Yes.
But when you look deeper into the case, you find out that, only one of the girls, Morgan Geyser, was diagnosed with schizophrenia and psychosis.
Yes.
However, Anissa was initially the one that showed Geyser creepypasta and brought up the plan.
For those of you guys who don't know, creepypasta is the place where the Slender Man origins come from. It's
right.
Where all that online stuff comes from.
Right, all the mythology and all that.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Looking at interviews, looking at interrogations that the girls did separately, you see that Morgan doesn't really have any emotion towards the case. She doesn't really see what she did wrong because Morgan believes in Slender Man so much to the point where she thought he was real. So I do agree. At first, I initially didn't agree with the whole sentencing, but now I do because she's getting help for her psychosis and delusional mindset.
Me personally, I'm just glad that they aren't getting jail time or
right.
prison time because in prison there's no real way of getting help and rehabilitation. So I'm glad that they are going to a psychiatric hospital.
It's not structured for somebody who's so detached from reality, especially at such a young age.
They have multiple mental illnesses. They are so young. I'm glad that they are getting the help that they need.
Yeah.
Right. So. Yes. In conclusion, we agree with the system because this is again one of the only times the system works in favor.
Yeah. So I think they're held great. I just want them to be. I guess they're being held accountable.
They are being held accountable to their actions.
So yeah.
And Peyton seemingly going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome, great. Thank you for
Thank you for
enjoying
coming to
our
my
podcast.
YouTube channel.